What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out the mighty Gurkhas of Nepal. This is a very highly requested video in our comments section. I think at this point we've only done one other Gurkhas related video together.
And that was a long time ago.
And I really don't feel like it went that in depth, specifically on the training they were doing up until the point of being chosen to become a Gurkha.
Right. Yeah, it didn't go into very much depth. It was pretty shallow.
So anyways, guys, I don't know what we're going to be checking out today other than we're going to be learning more about the Gurkhas themselves. I've heard these guys are literally the fiercest of the fiercest. They are known as the finest soldiers you can have. And so I'm excited, guys. Let's go ahead and check out Nepal's mighty Gurkhas.
In the foothills of the Himalayas, the race is
Oh,
on
man.
to find the world's most formidable warriors.
Dude, you see that hill?
Yeah, that was a mountain.
I wonder how much that weight is on their back.
These are the descendants of Nepal's legendary Gurkhas. Fighters so ferocious, they took on the might of the British Army. Stunned by their courage, the UK has enlisted a brigade of Gurkhas for more than 200 years.
Wow, I didn't realize it was so long.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't realize that long.
Today, thousands of young Nepali men compete to join this elite unit. Only a few will make it. Through blood, sweat and tears, 101 East finds out what it takes to join the world's fiercest fighters.
Morning, Baru.
These boys are about to face the toughest 10 days of their lives.
Recruit intake 2020 central selection ma swagat karchu.
They've beaten thousands of hopefuls to get here, but that's nothing compared to what they'll have to do next.
Aile bata timro ko pakka mauka aipugyo.
Every year, the British Army holds a grueling competition in Nepal to select the newest members of its legendary Gurkha brigade.
How many do they let in? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Baya daya herna hos. Kun keta safal hunecha. Timi ki timro chaunko.
Many have trained for years to get here.
Every test, every point, every second counts. So you must focus.
Can you imagine what it's like, though, when they ultimately get accepted to be at this place?
Right, yeah.
Not even-
It's just not even the first hurdle. Like, they had to...
Yeah,
go
to
through
fight
it.
their way up into this moment here to be a part of this smaller group, and not all of them get accepted,
Yeah,
but
it'd be a
just
lot
the
of pressure.
chance, because I've heard that a lot of these Gurkhas, they come out of like farming communities, not a lot of opportunity and whatnot, so
It could
this
totally change your life.
it's almost like winning the lottery in a way, you know? And I didn't know it was 200 years that they had this connection here.
That's really cool.
Prize is a career as an elite soldier and British passports for the whole family.
Oh, yeah, that would be a big
Willing to
benefit.
fight and
Wow,
even die
okay.
for the UK.
Yedi yaso garna tapai taya hunu hun daina bane. Tapai ye
The whole
bata
family.
wakano hos.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Only the brightest and strongest will be selected. For the others, it will be the crushing end of a lifelong dream.
Man.
Best effort dinu pacha super commander.
It's easier to get into Harvard University than to join the British Gurkhas. More
Wow.
than 12,000 boys applied this year, and the Army is going to take less than 4%.
Whoa. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
Kamal Guru
It's gotta be
was
exciting
going to be
and
one of the
nerve-wracking.
chosen
nerve-wracking.
few.
जुत्ता चाहिँ मैले दुईटा मात्रै हालेँ गल्ती त गरिनँ
He's from a family of farmers. Life has always been a struggle for them, but this is Kamal's one chance to change that.
The only thing I can think about right now is joining the British Army. There's nothing else. If I succeed, I'll be able to get my parents out of poverty, give them a normal
Wow.
life, and all the happiness they deserve.
You know, that I wonder how many of them they are doing it specifically for their parents more than even themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like their family lineage and their, yeah.
It literally changes everything. I mean, like when you think about it, if you're stuck in some sort of farming community, that's what your family's always done.
And you don't really want to do that, or you want to rise above that and like do something bigger maybe. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but there's no other opportunities. Right. And so, like, this is your one shot to change the entire trajectory of your family's lineage.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible to think when you think of it like that.
To prepare for the Gurkha tryouts, Kamal and his best friend Rohit have been at this training centre for the last 2 years.
2 years?
And failed to join the British Army before. So this year, the pressure is really on.
Last chance.
Obviously, I want both of us to get in, but if only my friend makes it, I won't be sad or jealous. It would be a proud moment for me.
Next door, their friend Kadak is packed and ready to go.
How nervous would you be?
Like
And
level
excited.
12.
Kadak's pretty nervous himself. It'll be life-changing if he's accepted into the Gurkhas.
It's a big thing for me and then for my mother also. Her
only dream is for me to join the British Army so that I can give us a good life, so that I can have a better future.
It's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure.
Kadak's mum raised him in a tiny village with no running water. His father and elder sister died when he was 8. She's all he has.
Oh, wow.
head of the family थियो हैन अनि
My father was the head of the family, but after he died, all the responsibility fell on my mother's shoulders. Society looked down on her because she was a widow. It was so hard for her to raise and educate me.
Prem Kumari ran a small food stall to support her son, but there was never enough money. She had to borrow from loan sharks to pay for Kadak's Gurkha training. Now she owes about $10,000, more money than she's ever had.
Okay, $10,000 to your average person in the US or UK is a decent bit of money,
Yeah,
right?
that's a lot.
And
still.
so, like, you can imagine in a
How
little
much
farming
more
community
that
somewhere.
feels like, yeah.
Like, what is that equivalent? I'm guessing.
She said that's more money than she's ever had.
Yeah, so like that's a lot. Wow. And she did that just specifically so her son could have a shot. Just a shot.
Again, the
At this.
pressure.
That just goes to show how much pressure this young man is under.
Some of these guys.
Wow.
आउँछन् के गरेको कहिले दिने
That was
They
good.
come and ask me, where's the money? When are you going to give it back? How are you going to pay me?
यसलाई पढाउन हुर्काउन राम्रोसँग पढाइदिन पाए
I just wanted to give him a good education so he could stand on his own feet.
Kadak is her only hope. If he gets into the British Army, he'll be able to pay off her debt.
कति हेर्ने अब
I feel more bad feel हुन्छ म्याम किनभने अब
I feel really bad that my mother has to ask other people for money. Sometimes these rich people try to humiliate us. I hate it. But we have to put up with this.
डोमिनेट गरे जस्तो गर्नु गर्छ त्यस कारणले चाहिँ जस यस्तो प्रेसर त जसलाई नि हुन्छ अब जस सोच्दाखेरि चाहिँ एकदम दुःख
There's a lot of pressure.
मैले अब केही कुरा
When I feel like quitting, I remember everything she sacrificed. And that motivates me to keep going.
Wow.
I hope he makes it.
Yeah, me too.
All of this hope and sacrifice is about to come to a head.
20 kilos.
Finally, it's the first day of the physical tests. In the crowd of anxious boys, I spot best friends Kamal and Rohit.
सर प्रतिस्पर्धा त अवश्य पनि हुन्छ र प्रतिस्पर्धाको लागि चाहिँ अब यो ब्रिटिश आर्मी एप्लाई
There is definitely a lot of competition. It's really tough because there are limited places. You have to be very mentally and physically fit.
Okay, stand by.
So, as physically grueling as I'm sure this is, no doubt, I feel like for me, the worst part would be the anticipation of waiting for it to start.
Yeah.
Like, just like, oh, it's coming. But once you're in it, then you're in it and you're just doing it on autopilot. But
Right.
like, oh, yeah.
You know, one thing I didn't realize, I don't know if it's everybody or if just some of them, but at least some of them have been here training for 2 years.
The whole time? Or like they come back once a year?
I don't know. It just said they've been training for 2
Yeah,
years
I
there.
heard them say that.
So I'm
but I
not
don't
sure
know
exactly
that.
what that means, but if they are there for 2 years training for this moment, that's incredible. Although I
It
did hear them
happens every year, though.
Right, and maybe that's what it is. They're there for the first time, they're trained, and they didn't get in, so they stayed and they trained for this next time, and then
I don't know.
at some point, it was fairly young. Like, I don't remember what it was, but I remember an age that was the cutoff or something, I believe. Or maybe it was a certain amount of times you could try out or something. But obviously, I think once they reached maybe 21 or something, it's
They've
done
aged
with.
out,
And
you
they've
don't
aged
have the
out.
chance anymore.
Yeah.
For the next week, these boys will run, jump, push and pull their bodies to their absolute limits. In the end, only a few will make it. With more than 700 boys in the fray, I'm keeping an eye out for Rohit and Kamal.
What did I say? Just
They're
fly?
off to a great start. Their years of training seem to be paying off.
Oh, there's one. Is that?
Kamal, I think.
Where's the guy that we were just seeing with his mom?
In
Not
race
sure.
after race, they're finishing near the top of their group.
No.
No.
But the competition is fierce.
I bet.
And there's no margin for error. With their future at stake, Kamal and Rohit are giving it their all. And they're scoring well.
सर मलाई चाहिँ ब्रिटिश आर्मी हुन चाहना चाहिँ साथ
I've wanted to join the British Army since I was 7 or 8 years old.
सर मलाई चाहिँ अब यो ब्रिटिश आर्मी चाहिँ हुने चाहिँ एउटा चाहना चाहिँ मेरो
This is my biggest dream. If I succeed, I'll be so proud.
बेस्ट दिने हो र यदि म भए भने ठिकै छ
But their trial is far from over. All the boys have to pass a medical, and it's the one test they can't prepare for. Kadak says some of their friends have
I
already
wonder what's
failed
on
it.
that test.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of it's out of your control.
Like body fat and stuff or what?
Well, that you could have some control over. Maybe height.
Medical checkup in a normal hospital came out fine. There was no problem. But in the camp, for some reason, they failed. I'm a little worried. There's a chance that I'll fail.
That would be depressing.
For 2
EKGs.
days, the boys will be poked and prodded to make sure they have no hidden illnesses or injuries.
Down, hold, and up.
Everything from their joints to their teeth will be examined.
Any problems? Please sit up.
And not everyone will pass.
48, 41,
Oh man.
Suddenly, Karak and Kamal are pulled aside. Their tests picked up a heart murmur, and now they're heading to hospital for a thorough checkup.
Is that both the main ones they were talking about? So all of them guys had some kind of like issue with like a heart murmur or something?
They have to do an ultrasound to make sure their hearts are functioning normally. If they're not, the boys will be disqualified.
Man.
So
I wonder if it was like nerves, you know, and they're just really.
Some of them
I don't know if that would cause that.
To join the Gurkhas, and this test could mean the end of their dreams.
That's crazy that both of them.
It takes just a few minutes, but the doctors aren't giving anything away.
Gosh, I feel nervous for them.
Yeah, me too.
Back at the camp. The uncertainty is excruciating. If they fail, they'll have to leave immediately.
401.
Is that him? Yeah. Is that the guy with the mother that we were seeing?
I'm really hoping that both Kamal and Karak have passed. But at the gate, it's clear the news isn't good.
I'm so sorry, Karak.
No.
How are you doing?
Karak's tests showed an abnormality with his heart. Prolonged, intense exercise could cause sudden death. He can never be a soldier in the British Army.
What do you plan to do?
Now I'm planning to go my home. That's it.
To your mother's home, back to the village? Have you had a chance to speak with her?
Oh man.
Poor guy.
That's so disappointing. I can feel it for him.
And it's one of those things you just have no control over, so it's like even more depressing because there's nothing you can do about it.
Literally just it must be like a birth defect or something in your heart. Like that's...
You would think, honestly, you would think they would test for things like that in the first round before they even come to this place.
Yeah.
But,
like, because you get people, you get their hopes up more when it's impossible for them to. So they go through the rest of this before getting that place. Yeah, you would think they would have, reversed that order of testing or whatnot. But that's sad. What about our other guy?
I don't know.
Karak has spent 2 years and his family thousands of dollars training to become a Gurkha.
Yeah, you would think that would be something they test for early on.
For nothing.
Oh, is that the guy with the mother?
Back in the camp, Kamal is the last one to find out his results.
Oh my gosh.
After what happened to Karak, I'm worried he'll also be sent home.
Did you pass? Yes. Congratulations! Were you nervous?
A lot.
No, not at all.
Because you were sent to the hospital as well.
That was so sad moment for us. And our one of the friend, Karak, he has gone to home.
Yeah. Were you sad to see Karak go?
I know how hard it is. I can feel that pressure and that tension.
Good afternoon, bhaiharu.
Outside, the staff are finally able to give the remaining boys the good news.
अहिलेसम्म जे जति तपाईहरुले मेडिकल गर्नुभयो हो त्यो सम्पूर्ण तपाईहरु मेडिकली फिट हुनुभएको छ है त्यसैले हामी
For now, Kamal and Rohit are both safe and they can call their families.
Man, imagine that call.
Hello? Mommy? Hello? म यहाँ क्याम्पबाट फोन गरेको के मेरो फिजिकलहरु सबै कट्यो.
But the stress of the last few days has taken a toll on Kamal. He's lost his confidence.
फोन गर्छु अझै बाँकी छ के रे अब धेरै आशा नगर्नु खासै राम्रो नि भएन.
Man.
Rohit also gets through to his mum.
Hello? Hello? Mommy?
This is his last chance to get into the British Army. They won't let him try again because he's already failed twice.
3 times? It's 3 times, is it?
3
When
strikes,
I
you're
didn't
out.
get in, I was devastated. I just wanted to be alone. I was living away from my family. I felt like, in their eyes, I was a failure. I couldn't bear it. I just couldn't move on.
Rohit's mother says she tried to support him, but the whole family was devastated.
It makes me so sad. I can't stop my tears when I think about it. It's hard to see your child work so hard and still fail. We tried to console him. We told him he could try again because there was time. But inside, we also felt hurt.
These young men obviously feel devastated when they don't make it, more so for their mothers and their families than themselves.
Yeah, it seems like it.
They obviously are carrying a lot of weight and a lot of pressure.
And sort of a burden there, like...
It is a burden in a way.
Yeah.
They don't look at it like that,
Right.
but it is because, like, so much is riding on their shoulders.
Right, it's not your dream, it's everyone else's too.
Well, it is their dream, but
I know,
it is...
but or it might not be. Maybe
True.
they don't really want it, and they just feel pressure to. I mean, not all of them, but some probably just feel pressure to do this because it's the only way they see to provide for their family and get out of that cycle of poverty.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. It seems like they haven't really talked about fathers yet. I don't know if a lot of these guys come from.
Well, I was going to say at the beginning, I forget the word they used, but I want to say it was like legacy.
Yes, or are they Gurkhas?
So like
the fathers may be Gurkhas.
Some family.
Oh, imagine that. That's even more of a weight because if your dad is a Gurkha and was, and you literally feel, or maybe your grandpa or whatever, and you literally feel like if you don't make it, it is like this.
You don't live up to the expectation.
Legacy.
And
oh man, that's a lot of weight on these young men's shoulders.
She has used all the family's savings to pay for Rohit's training, and that's put enormous pressure on him.
He has worked really hard. His hands were full of blisters, and his back was totally bruised because he carried those heavy baskets. He would try so hard.
For 2 long years, Rohit's family have watched him struggle with his disappointment. They're now bracing themselves for whatever happens next.
We're hoping that he'll get in, but I've told him that in case he doesn't, don't be sad. Control yourself. I'll come and get you and bring you home.
You know, it's very true though, like this weight is on their shoulders, but at the same time, when you think about all the men in Nepal, a very small amount of them actually become Gurkhas, whether they try or whether they don't. It's a very, very rare thing in general because what is it, 4% of the 1,200 that applied actually make it?
But like we've seen at least in 2 of these cases, their moms have spent basically the life savings or gone into major debt to fund this. And so then it just adds even more.
Wow, man. I just can't get over the pressure they got to be under. It's got to be immense.
Their wait is almost over. The results are out in just a few days.
Oh my goodness.
The boys have one last chance to impress the recruiters.
Make sure your basket is correct. Weight. How much does that weigh?
Tomorrow is their final.
Are they trying to replicate a backpack?
The infamous Doco race.
Why not just wear a backpack?
Wait,
Each boy has to carry a Doco or bamboo basket filled with 15 kilograms of sand. And they have to do it while sprinting up a mountain.
Oh my goodness. This is what, oh wow. Yeah. This is kind of what they were doing at the beginning.
Making sure
That
their
clip.
baskets are tied securely.
That would hurt.
Seems
Like
pretty happy
like
with
that.
his. But Kamal is having trouble.
तैँले छोटो गरेको रहेछ लामो गर नि लामो गर भने चाहिँ छोटो 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 भयो
After a lot of trial and error, his basket is ready. But it feels like a bad omen.
Okay, so it said 15 kilograms. What is that in pounds? Is that like 30 pounds? 33 pounds. So that's a pretty decent weight to be running
Hanging
on your head, on your neck, basically, running up a mountain.
Yeah, but having to like kind of look down.
Yeah, like
really look
like that
forward.
position would be like pretty awkward feeling.
I wonder how long it takes them on average to get up the
I
mountain.
don't know, that's what I was thinking.
Beautiful.
Finally, it's race day, and the boys are raring to go at the crack of dawn.
Oh my goodness.
Kamal's in the front row.
This
wearing
race
green
really means a lot. It's going to determine a lot.
So is this the final
It's a
thing?
steep 5.8 kilometers to the top.
5.8 kilometers to the top.
Winding, rough roads.
Okay, yeah. Now that would be tough. That position
The Annapurna
they're in.
Ranges towering above. The views are spectacular.
So that'd be about 4 miles.
The only thing
can't
the boys
remember.
are looking at is the competition.
All right, I've got to see what that is in miles.
A 5K and running, I think, is a little over 3 miles or around 3 miles.
3.6 miles. That's quite a bit of distance. With this position with your neck, carrying 33 pounds on your back up a mountain.
Yeah.
That would be pretty intense. That's
The
really
elevation
intense.
would really.
Yeah.
This is not just a test of strength. It's a test of sheer determination.
So your jaws.
Long after their bodies feel like giving up, it's their minds that will push them to the finish line.
Yeah. You know they're thinking about their family during this moment.
By the time the boys get here, some can
Oh my
barely
goodness.
stand.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Rohit is one of the first in his group to reach the top in just over 30 minutes.
Wow.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Wow.
How long would it take you?
Now?
Is nowhere in sight.
Oh no.
Eventually, I spot him.
What is there a time limit?
He looks absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, were you happy with how it went?
I'm happy to complete the Doku race, but not satisfied with the time.
Oh, why? Why?
Because my finishing time was a bit slow than I used to do.
Do you think that's going to be a problem?
Yes, of course it's gonna be a problem because there are lots of boys who has done pretty good.
Ever since his scare at the hospital, Kamal has been struggling. But he could still be selected if his overall score is high.
I mean, think about that. If you had this like mini scare of like, oh my goodness, something wrong with his heart and whatnot, like, and then he comes back into this and he hears about his friends who basically were told that if they exerted themselves too much, they could literally die.
But he was clear.
No, I understand that, but there's still the fact he was pulled aside in the first place and had that little mini scare, and then he sees his friends that were also had that
Right.
mini scare, had these issues. Even though he was cleared, there still could be a little doubt in the back of his mind of like,
true.
how cleared am I and whatnot. And so like it might be weighing on
versus guys who never got called back.
right. If his heart rate's getting up and like, obviously it would, you know, it's like in the back of his mind, is he thinking about that?
Or just his confidence is.
Right. His confidence it may be weakened a little bit because of that, you know, that mini scare.
He won't have to wait long to find out. At the camp, the moment of truth has arrived.
तिमीहरूको आफ्नो टेस्ट नम्बर बोलाउँछु टेस्ट नम्बर बोलाएपछि यतापट्टि आउने टेस्ट नम्बरमा नाम
Man, I'm feeling stressed for them.
One by one, each boy will be told if he got in.
Oh my goodness. Imagine this walk.
There's only 432
So they're calling ones that did get in?
And more than 700 hopefuls.
No, they're
Kamal is one
calling
of the
for them to go
first
find
to be
out.
Called in.
He's sitting there lying right now, not
Days of
knowing.
hard work. It will take just seconds to learn his fate.
Oh my goodness.
At the camp gate, families are also waiting for the results. Boys who failed are coming out, and with them is Kamal.
Kamal, are you okay?
People try to console him, but he's not stopping for anyone.
It's just awful. Kamal had tears in his eyes coming out and he didn't want to talk to us, and I don't really blame him.
Inside, Rohit is still hopeful.
Is he the
He's
guy
one of
who's
the last boys left
three
on the
times, this
field.
third time?
I think Kamal was too.
Oh.
Finally, it's his turn.
Did he get
It
it?
looks like he's in.
Oh, he got it.
Congratulations! How do you feel?
I'm feeling very much happy.
Were you nervous?
Wow.
Because you were at the bottom
Can you
of the
imagine
queue,
that?
right?
I was at the last.
Did you think you were going to get in or you were not going to get in?
I was hoping to get in, but I was not sure.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Off you go.
Aww.
For the boys who got in, it's a moment they will never forget. The day their lives changed forever.
I feel so great.
Yeah?
So relieved. I feel like I reached a milestone. It's the greatest achievement.
Did you think you were going to make it?
Some are on the verge of tears. Others are in shock. What they've achieved at such a young age is truly remarkable.
Today is a fantastic day. The end of your journey through the recruiting process and the start of a new journey into the British Army, into the most famous regiments in the world. Congratulations, mate. All for an effort. Well done.
For these boys, there is no turning back.
Well done, mate.
Within days, they'll be on a plane to the UK and onto a life they had only dreamed about.
Wow, man.
I wish you all the best on that next journey. You are now the future of the Brigade of Gurkhas, and that is a responsibility that you will carry for the rest of your days in service. Good luck.
That was an incredible video.
Yeah, that was amazing. I can't imagine that feeling of how proud and relieved and just excited you would feel to start that new chapter of your life.
Imagine coming out of there. Imagine the line first. You're in that line. You've gone through this amazing journey of like struggle and just this is your dream, and you're sitting there in line waiting to be called, and you see other guys coming out probably that are frowning and sad because they didn't get in. You see other guys coming out that are like ecstatic because they got in, and you are next up. They call you, and you're like running there. It's like everything comes down to this one moment, and then they say you're in. Like the amount of emotion that you have to be feeling in that moment is just astounding.
Or if they say you're not.
Yeah, either way, the emotions you have, you know, good or bad, is just overwhelming.
Yeah.
I imagine this literally, I imagine there's very little that, you know, anyone could have happen to them in life, you know, beyond things like having a child or, you know, getting married and whatnot. There's very few like achievements that would feel as intense emotionally as this for these guys. I mean, you know, because everything about what they see for the future, their dreams they've had for their future rides on this single moment.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of them, like their whole lives so far have been focused on becoming this or attaining this.
7, 8 years old, I heard that one guy saying, and what are they now, 19, 20 or something like that. That's incredible. And I can just imagine what it's like to get in and then you're like, I can't wait to tell my mom, my family. And then just when you do that, just how excited the parents are.
And then on the flip side, the ones who didn't get in, whose moms or grandparents or whoever funded this training and all these years of
loans.
Yeah. And then you have to go tell them that you didn't make it.
And then, like, obviously a lot of them are in farming communities, with limited ability to expand upon being a farmer. And so their income potential is probably limited. I don't know anything about it, honestly, but it sounded like,
how would you begin to repay that?
What is probably just an immense amount of money compared to what they're making on a yearly basis at the farm. Obviously, I guess some of them choose to go ahead and leave the farm if they didn't make it, and they still go and work in a city somewhere and, do something that probably pays more and send money back home to the family and whatnot. But respect to these guys, respect to the Gurkhas. Obviously, whether they make it or not, they go through some serious intense training. Yeah. And obviously these guys, they have to fight to become part of the British military. They have to fight more than most soldiers to get there.
The opportunity.
And so maybe that's why they're known as the fiercest. Maybe that's why they're known as being such fine soldiers because
they had to fight tooth and nail to get in.
Just to get there.
Yeah.
Right? Just to get chosen. Mm-hmm. And like they just said, right now, after going through this intense struggle to get here, they're literally just ending this journey, and now their real bigger journey begins as of right this moment.
And that's what I want to see next. I want to see what happens once they're there and they're actually in their day-to-day job. Like, what do they do?
There's a few things I've heard we should check out. Number one, obviously, is what it's like to see them actually go to the UK for the first time. They're from this, everything from probably the weather to all sorts of different food culture and just all the culture shock that they come onto.
They get like a lot of respect when they come to the UK.
Oh, absolutely.
I bet they feel like celebrities.
Yeah. But another thing I've been told we got to check out is they have, I can't remember what it's called. I'm not going to say the name because I know I'm going to butcher it probably, but they have this special weapon, this knife. And it's known to be their specific weapon. And I can't remember what it is. Let us know in the comments, guys. And I think it'd be interesting to check out training with that or seeing them use that.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments, guys, what we should check out next about the Gurkhas. I find them to be very interesting. But guys, I think that's it for us today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journey to discover anything and everything about the UK and Ireland. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Bye.